The energy coming through here is of somebody who is an advanced soul. They are very attracted to you on an intellectual level. And with this energy of, I get excited every time I see you, this is somebody that is a master manifester. They know how to align with the vibration of intention, feeling. They know how to turn thoughts into things with ease. And right now, their thoughts are incredibly focused upon you. You are the prize that they have had their eye on for quite some time. This is somebody, it feels like, that has taken time to kind of like soul search, look within since meeting you, and has been evaluating very seriously if long-term goals and dreams that they have in their life and things that they know for certain that they are attracted to as far as their type or their ideal match or what makes for like compatibility with them, if this is something that very seriously and not in a fantastical or idealistic way matches up with everything that you have shown them, what they know about you, because this is somebody that doesn't want to waste your time. They don't want to waste their time. This is somebody that it feels like wants to take a step forward with you because they have taken the time not just to answer to kind of like the physical appeal or attraction. This is not somebody that is ready to pursue you based on like loneliness or trying to fill a void within, but they recognize and see you as somebody who, in a very realistic manner, has all the qualities and qualifications of what it is that they have been looking for in terms of like a solid partnership or the recipe between themselves and another person, in this case you, that they feel will definitely lead to better circumstances, hopefully, than things that they've experienced in the past where they didn't factor kind of like the lens by which they've looked at this situation through so far, where they didn't factor that in. This is somebody that's very excited for the next step between the two of you. They're excited to get to know more about you. They're excited to have more experiences, more interactions. It feels like every time you have a conversation, you go out on a date, you spend time together, this person walks away from that experience and it satisfies something within them that this is in fact the right situation to invest their time, to invest their energy, to invest their hope within. You continue to pass these almost like unconscious or subconscious tests that this person's intellect, their logic, their common sense, or their better judgment has put in place at this time in their life romantically, like not just as far as you and the situation is concerned, but this is somebody that is like at a point in their life where they're like, I don't want to mess around. I don't want to waste my time. I'd rather be alone and single than find myself with the wrong person, or kind of like stepping headfirst into drama or something that's a mismatch. And so that's the intention that this person set in their life shortly before meeting you. Maybe since their last breakup, is kind of like, okay, I'm the common denominator in things that have fallen apart, so I need to be the one to do something different if I hope to experience different results. And so that formula, that approach applied in this situation has caused this person to be almost very like strategic or methodical in terms of not letting sort of their heart get ahead of them, not letting this kind of like carnal urge or physical attraction be the dictating force in terms of actions that they take or don't take. This is somebody who's listening to their mind above all else in this situation. And without knowing it, without meaning to, you keep like putting their mind at ease. You keep putting their fears to rest. So this is somebody that it feels like is very excited about sort of picking up the pace between the two of you. This is somebody who's very like open-minded about what the future can hold. This is somebody that if they have been kind of like guarded, or you felt that they're sort of holding back, or they've been taking things very slowly up to this point in time, they have reached a point within of like, okay, let's turn the volume up on this. Let's kind of move forward with more purpose and more determination. They may be getting ready to like express their intentions to you out loud so that you know that what you've experienced so far isn't like the best that they're capable of bringing to the table, but there is kind of like these deeper layers, these inner layers to this person that just by you being yourself and however you've shown up in this connection so far, in the interaction so far, it has appeased this part of themselves that needed to almost kind of like take that methodical approach, and they feel comfortable kind of like letting you in or extending themselves like even more in this connection than has been the case so far. We also have my intentions are good and pure. Yeah, so again, this is somebody that like doesn't want to waste your time, and they see that, you are not somebody who is out kind of like getting to know people just, to feed your own ego, or, to continue to get to know you or participate in this connection be, a waste of their time, because you're somebody that also has kind of like a similar mindset. You're very serious about like, I'm not going to entertain wishy-washy energy. I'm not going to let people into my life, or in very close, who aren't, certain about me, who can't be very proactive or giving me mixed signals. So all of that is like a turn on for this person. It's very compatible with what it is that they have been seeking as well. This is somebody, again, that has a lot of reassurance that to continue to progress forward with you will be a good thing. And so they know that there's some clarification that needs to come through. There is more that needs to be expressed, or it feels like for them, it's time to start to, become very specific about sort of like, I like you, I've got feelings for you, I want to explore something more, I want to take this connection to the next level. It feels like anything that has been in kind of like the realm of hint or innuendo or like suggestion up to this point in time, this is somebody that definitely understands like, I need to be very clear about how it is that I feel, and this isn't somebody that wants to kind of tell you like, I don't know how I feel, I need some more time, I want us to just keep things as they are. This is somebody, it feels like that, again, they're kind of like gearing up or getting ready to, address kind of like everything you've experienced so far with one another, kind of like the totality of your experiences with each other, and to give a lot of positive feedback in that sense. Like, it's been great getting to know you. It's been wonderful spending time with you. This experience is something that they cherish and value greatly. And with that being said, they are now ready to start to get more specific about kind of like naming feelings, focusing more on kind of like, where is this connection headed? This is not somebody that, needs to kind of like buy time or bargain with you. This is not somebody that is like, I need to think about things. Like, they've thought a lot about things. And this is somebody that is listening to their intuition, that's letting them know, like, this is the time to move forward. They're giving themselves the green light, to be very kind of direct about their intentions, or even sort of redefine those terms. If that had been something you'd already discussed up to this point in time, and they're like, let's just see where this goes, let's just kind of be in the moment. Or if they had at some point in time and like, I need to kind of take time, I need to think, something like that. This is somebody that wants to, kind of readdress that and sort of reestablish different rules with one another, or, eliminate the rules altogether and kind of just have a very sort of free range experience with one another, something that can just very organically progress between the two of you without this kind of need to hold back as much as they have been. We also have, it's you I've been looking for my whole life. Yeah, so this is somebody, it feels like, that is starting to consult their emotions or consulting their heart as far as this connection is concerned. The intellect has been satisfied, and so now they are listening to, that little feeling within that kind of like surfaces whenever they see you. That energy of like, I get excited every time I see you. I become very alert in your presence, or, this is somebody that might have even ignored butterflies that they were getting because in past situations emotions, those butterflies kind of equated, toxicity, or maybe led to codependency, unhealthy attachments. And so they learned to kind of like not listen to that urge, not act upon that urge as quickly, which is where that kind of intellectual, strategic, logical approaches come in. But they have now reached a place, it feels like, where they are very comfortable with kind of like, okay, I'm gonna let those butterflies carry me straight to you. I'm gonna listen to that aspect within me that gets very excited by everything about you, by who you are physically, how you present yourself, the way that you think, the way that you speak, your perspective on things, your priorities in life, how you're showing up for yourself, how you're showing up for me in this connection. Like everything about you really reassures this person that to take steps forward into a new direction, or take a substantial step beyond kind of whatever the experience looks like between the two of you at this point in time, that this is something that will align with a lot of pleasure, a lot of like emotional safety. It'll be a really good experience. This is somebody that wants to create more closeness with you. This is somebody, it feels like, that wants to continue to be very kind of deliberate in their movements forward, but something where, there's more like emotions that are brought to the table, more appreciation, less of kind of like deferring to sort of like getting to know one another in that platonic sense, and more of a focus upon sort of like what they're feeling, romantic moments between the two of you, or things where, you can kind of just feel that, where their energy sort of softens, where it's more inviting. This is somebody that wants to consciously kind of let that guard down, sort of like open that gate that may have been around their heart. They've been like gatekeeping their feelings to a certain extent. There's a sense of like you've earned this person's trust, or you've satisfied certain requirements, again, that they had within, that had nothing to do with you. It was just sort of like a vow and a promise that they made to themselves after their last kind of like failed relationship, or failed marriage, or heartbreak, or like whatever it is that looked like, of like, okay, I need to do things differently this time. I need to do things differently this time around in my life, or at this point in my life in general, as far as romance is concerned. And so they've satisfied that kind of need within. They've served that kind of promise that they made to themselves to the fullest. And so this is somebody who's giving this kind of like more romantic or emotional part of themselves permission to come up into more of like a dominant sort of place within their interactions with you, because they don't want you to kind of like get the impression that this is something where they're kind of like a cold person, or a boring person, or that there's anything kind of like lukewarm or dry about them. This is somebody that is capable of, romance. This is somebody that is capable of those kind of steamy experiences, dreamy experiences, lovey-dovey experiences, but they've been holding back on that. They wanted to make sure that it was like safe to progress forward. It was safe to open up their heart. It was safe to sort of showcase that side of themselves. They've got, it feels like, a lot of love to give, but this is somebody that has been a bit hesitant. They don't want to get hurt. So this could be where you're the first person that they've dated, or they've had a connection with, that they've really clicked with, after some kind of heartbreak. And so it's kind of like, okay, they've been dipping their toe in the water. They're ready to dive into the deep end with you now. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.